Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to study the poem An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum by Stephen Spender. An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum by Stephen Spender. This poem is prescribed for the CBSE students of class 12. Before I proceed, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel. Okay, let's continue. First of all, let me tell you about the author. The author was a politician, was a poet, was an essayist. He had keen interest in politics and he declared himself as a socialist and a pacifist. His work concentrated on themes of social injustice and social struggle are reflected in his poems. And in this poem, An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, we are going to study about the difficulties of the slum children, the difficulties, the problems faced by the slum children. Okay, the injustice that is done to the slum children, okay, of the time in which he lived, 1964. This poem is also published in the year 1964. Okay, now let us talk about the poem in detail. Okay, I am going to read line by line and explain it. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor, the tall girl with her weighed down head, the paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes, the stunted, unlucky heir of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lesson from his desk. At the back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. His eyes live in a squirrel's game, in tree room other than this. Okay, now let us talk about some phrases and words for which you may require explanation. First of all, what does the phrase gusty waves refer to? Gusty waves means breezy winds. Okay. And pallor, what does it refer to? Pallor means pale and dull, colorless face. Stunted, what does it mean? Stunted means undeveloped. Okay, not fully grown because of malnutrition. Okay, the next word is gnarled. What does gnarled mean? Gnarled means rough, very rough and knotted. Okay, it's not soft, it's rough, gnarled. Weeds, you all know the meaning of weeds. Weeds are unwanted or worthless plants, okay, that grow on their own. They grow on their own. They are not planted. They are grown and they are useless. They are of no use. They are good only for throwing. Okay. Then the paper seeming boy. What does it mean? Paper seeming boy means very thin boy. Very thin. He looks very weak. Okay. So that's the meaning of paper seeming boy. Then you know the meaning of the word heir. H-E-I-R. Heir means successor. After the father, his son is his heir. Heir is the successor. Okay. Now let me describe the poem. Okay, let me explain the poem. This poem describes the children who study in an elementary school which is in a slum area. Okay. The poet says that the faces of children are dull and without energy. The faces are very dull and they have no energy. They look very weak. They are not full of energy like other kids of their age. He is comparing the children of the slum with the children of the rich. Okay, the same age children, but their faces are dull. Unlike the faces of the children of the rich. Okay, these children in the slum are compared to unwanted weed. What do you mean by weed? Weed I have already said. Useless plants. They grow on themselves. Once they grow, they have to be cut and thrown. Okay. So these children also are like useless weeds. Okay. And they are grown, as I said, in the field. Just like that. They are of no use. The hair is not neatly done. Okay. There is no good looking appearance on their hair. It's not neatly done. Because they are in the slum and they don't worry about it. They are not bothered. It falls on their face. The hair falls on their faces as if they have been torn apart. Okay, they are not worried about their appearance. As if they are torn apart, they are falling on their faces. Then the poet describes about a tall girl who seems to be burdened by poverty. There is a tall girl who seems to be burdened by poverty. Her head is bent. Why? What is the reason? Head is bent. Maybe because she is burdened by the poverty. Her head is also bent because of the tiredness. Okay. Also in shame. Okay. She is very tall. She may be overaged to be in the slum. Okay. Because of the poverty, because of the malnutrition, because of the sadness, her head is bent. Okay. And he is also talking about another boy who is very weak. There is a boy who is very weak and thin. And this boy is compared to the sheet of paper. Okay. Why is he comparing to the sheet of paper? He looks very thin because of the malnutrition. The boy's eyes reflect the greed. Okay. Rat's eyes. That means his eyes reflect greed and he wants to achieve everything. Okay. He wants to achieve everything. But the problem is that he is not given with an opportunity to achieve anything. Okay. He is considered useless. He is considered a weed in the society. Then he describes a student who is physically disabled. There is a boy who is physically disabled. The poet says that the boy is unlucky because this boy has inherited a disease from his father due to which he is deformed. That is the only inheritance. The inheritance is the disease from the father and he is deformed. And what does he do? Okay, he is also in the classroom and he is also studying. He is not getting any facility from his father. His father is not giving him any asset, any property. He is only giving him his disease. His disease is being inherited by him. The boy is disabled and he is sitting on his bench and he is reciting the lesson. Okay, his lesson at his desk. He is reciting the lesson from there. and he is besides a deceased, a sick boy, and the sickness has been given to him by his father. And then he is talking about one more boy at the back of the classroom. He is in a dark area. At the back of the dim classroom, one unnoted boy, that is what we read. He is a very small boy who is not visible to the poet. Okay, he is not visible. He is sitting in the dark place of the classroom. The poet could not see his eyes, which were so bright. The poet could see his eyes. The poet could see his eyes, which were so bright and full of dream. The poet was able to see his eyes. His eyes were full of dream, and it was so bright. He is a very sweet boy. Okay. He was not paying attention to the class. It seemed as if that boy was not interested in the class. He was interested in the squirrel's game in a tree house. Okay, where is the tree? Tree is just next to the classroom. He is more interested in the tree room where the squirrel is. Okay, most probably he wants to be as free like that of the tree. He wants to enjoy his life. He wants to be free like that of the tree, which is not possible. Okay, and he is there still in that place. And in these few lines, we also have got few literary devices. We have got simile. Where is simile? Simile is in the line. Children are compared with rootless weeds, like rootless weeds. So there is simile. There is also metaphor. Okay, boy is compared with the paper. Paper seeming boy. Okay, paper seeming boy. There is metaphor. Okay, then there is also repetition. For. Okay, the same words are repeated. So there is repetition here in these few lines. Let us continue the poem in the next video. Okay, so please go through this poem with the help of the textbook and study well. I shall talk about the remaining in the next video. Okay, bye bye.